It is officially spring, which means many are thinking about using these beautiful days, like today, for instance, to plant their flowers and their crops. But before you do all that, you might need to check in with someone who knows what's going on with the plants. With us today is Ben Grandin, who works with the Horticulture Division of the Guilford County Cooperative Extension Office. He's breaking down the do's, the don'ts to spring planting, and guess what? He's going to answer your questions as well. So this is what you need to do. You can text us those questions. 336-379-5775 is the number. And of course, your questions are anonymous. You get those answers in real time. All right, let's talk about this. We're all getting ready, or maybe some people have already tried to get ready for the whole spring bed container preparation for planting. What do we need to keep in mind?
The big thing is that spring is almost here, but it's not 100% here. So it's a great time to go ahead and get your garden beds, your raised beds, your containers prepped and ready to be planted. Add some good organic matter to it, adjust any kind of pH deficiencies you might have. You might have to add a little bit of lime to raise up our acidic soils, but I think a lot of times we just want to get those plants ready to be put in the ground right when it's ready to be done in about a week or two. So we're really
Okay.
getting ready and getting those soils prepared.
Okay, so you can get the soil prepared, but you probably shouldn't be doing anything in any kind of bed or container or anything like that.
There are a few plants that we can go ahead and seed out, and especially if we have transplants. A lot of our cooler crops, our lettuces, our kales, our radishes, some cilantro even can be put in right now. You just want to wait for some of those warmer season crops like our tomatoes, our cucumbers, and our okra. Those really need to be given another month till the soil can really get up to about 65 degrees. That way it gives them a good head start and off to the right conditions for the rest of the summer.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So we want to show the map to you because this is the last fraud date map. And so this is showing specifically like our part of North Carolina there. And you see all those different color dots. We're in that like Carolina blue color dot. So what does
Mhm.
that mean for us?
It means we have to wait till about April 8th to really have a good chance of not getting any last frosts. The hard part is that even though it feels like spring, if it freezes, all the hard work that you put into it's going to get knocked back down. So we like to wait till that first frost date to ensure that, our tomatoes, our more sensitive plants aren't going to get killed back right away in the beginning of the year.
All right, and most of the counties that were kind of in our area, Guilford, Alamance, I saw Rockingham County, Davidson County, they all were kind of in that same kind of timeline.
Exactly. So anywhere here in the Piedmont, I usually say it's a good chance that we're going to get a frost that first week of April. If we get too ahead of ourselves, we start planting a bunch of tomatoes this time of year. It's 70 degrees outside during the day. It's still going to drop down and it's going to stunt those plants. Really set them back and make it so that you'd be better off waiting another week or two to really start your gardening experience.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And so you talked a little bit about the temperature of the soil, which I thought was really interesting. It's like the temperature of the water when you go swimming. And so we've got a list of all of these different crops and the temperature that it needs to be. Some pretty warm, the soil temperature. Let me get that out.
Exactly. And it's hard to believe that the soil really doesn't warm up as quickly as the air. It's just like in the spring when we jump in the swimming pool, it might be 70 degrees outside, but that water's still really, really cold. So we want to make sure that we're putting the seeds in the ground at the right time so that they get the best start. A lot of times people try to really push earlier and earlier, but what we found is that the cold stunts the plants and you would have been better off having waited. You'll get the same amount of fruit, but it will take a little bit longer if you plant early.
Okay. Well, let's talk about drainage, irrigation, things of that nature.
Yes, drainage is the most important thing about gardening. Plants do not like wet feet. You got to add water to it, but it's really important that they're not sitting in flooded soils. If they are, they lose a lot of the oxygen content of that soil and they end up developing root rots. So I always say good drainage is more important than irrigation. You can always add water. It's really hard to take water away from the plant, though.
How do you know that you are drowning it?
Pretty much, I say that we are all, most of us are blessed with 10 digital moisture meters. You take your finger, you put it in the soil. If it's super wet, if it's really, really wet, really, really cold, that plant really probably needs better drainage.
Okay, gotcha. All right, and let's talk about mulch and covering our crops and things of that nature.
The big mistake a lot of people make is that they leave bare soil on the ground either throughout winter or throughout summertime. It's really a good idea to use some mulch, either some straw. You can put down straw in between the plants. You can even use pine bark mulch, just something to keep that soil covered. That'll help retain a lot of moisture into the soil, and that'll also give the conditions that the microbes in the soil really love to thrive in. So having that soil covered will create more organic matter for you and a happier place for those roots to live.
Okay, I got a quick question before we go to break. This person wants to know, are there certain plants that can be planted to repel snakes?
I'm sure there are, but I really don't know of any. A lot of those are sort of misnomers. I think a lot of mints, things like that might have been used in the past, but I don't think there's 100%, repelling plant as
Right,
far as.
there's no snake repellent plant that's out there that you can go to Lowe's and pick up and be like, yep, that's going to do it.
I really wish there were, but I don't know of any.
Yeah, so don't believe the hype when you read stuff all the time because those things are not tried and true. Okay. All right, we're going to be taking more of your questions when we come back. We'll see you in just a couple minutes.